Okay, perfect. Well, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Hello and welcome. This is, as you know, the second of the series of Blue Mission Med webinars. For those of you who are joining for the first time, let me perhaps briefly introduce why and what we've invited you here today for. This webinar is part of the Blue Mission Med project, which is about connecting innovative solutions with communities and stakeholders that can help them put into action. Our focus here is really creating an ecosystem, an innovation ecosystem where ideas like the ones that we're going to hear about today can really grow and scale up. So this is why we have launched a support program as part of our project, which we are kickstarting with this webinar series exploring innovations across different topics. Today, specifically, we're going to be touching upon bio-based innovation. This is a critical area with the potential to tackle marine and water pollution at its source, particularly by developing, for instance, alternative biodegradable materials, which we will hear about today, or transforming waste into valuable products, among others. You're going to be hearing from people who are developing and applying solutions around this topic on the ground, and there will be chances later on to share some thoughts, to ask questions to them and connect. But before we start, we wanted to warm up a bit and get a glimpse of who's in the room. So let's launch a little icebreaker. I would kindly ask the team to display the poll now. The poll is directly integrated on Teams. As you can see here, no need to look for phones, scan codes, or anything. It should appear here. Okay, I see it in my screen. I hope everyone can also do. There are 3 questions. The first one asks about where you're based, so your country. What type of entity do you represent? What type of stakeholder you are? And then finally, in which sector do you operate? It is possible to select more than one option. But in order to see the results, you should click on all the answers and click on submit at the end before it shows for you. So let's give a minute for everybody to reply. And then we can discuss a bit the outcomes.
Hi, sorry to just get in, but I think Davide
Hello.
Dalmaso is waiting to be admitted in the call, or at least he's telling me this.
Yeah, I already admitted him, so he should be joining anytime soon. But thanks for letting us know.
I think he was having some troubles.
Okay.
Okay.
I will email him otherwise. Thanks.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
I think he is in the meeting, but then I saw him as among participants, but then I don't know.
Okay. Well, I see still 12 replies. I don't know if more people will want to perhaps contribute later, but I see a majority of people joining from Spain, also from Belgium and France and Italy. Then in terms of stakeholders, there's a majority of private sector and also local authorities, research institutions, regional authorities, and then other. This is exactly what we love to see, a mix of different stakeholders. So the more diverse the perspectives, the better the outcomes today will be. So that's great. Then in terms of sectors, we see wastewater treatment as a majority. Then we also see people working in energy, aquaculture, ports, and others. again, we'll have time at the end to interact a little bit and learn more. Okay, thanks everyone for participating in the poll. It was a nice way to break the ice indeed and see who we're sharing today's space with. So, well, now I will take a couple of minutes just to walk you through the agenda that we have lined up today. We will start with a few opening remarks and a quick look at the mission to restore ocean and waters, to set the scene. Then we will give you an introduction to the Blue Mission Med project and the support services behind it. And then we will go straight into today's core, which is the smart solutions around bio-based innovation, and then move into the round of pitches. If needed, we can take a short coffee break midway, and then we can come back to a second round of pitching. We have invited 3 key experts to give feedback and pose a few questions to the pitchers. And later on, we'll have a kind of marketplace session where solution providers and potential users in the audience can connect and exchange. We've got a packed agenda, so before we dive in, just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. First, please, let's try to keep our microphones muted so we can avoid any unexpected background noises. We've set aside specific time for Q&A and interaction, as I was mentioning. So when we get there, feel free to raise your hand, or you can also drop your questions in the chat if you prefer, and we can pick them up from there. Just so you know that this session is being recorded, and we will be sharing the recording afterward in case you want to go back, catch anything you've missed. So finally, if you have any technical issues, just send a message in the chat, as our support team is here and on standby and happy to help. So, okay, let's get started. I'll hand it over now to our first speaker, Loic Blanchard. Loic, the floor is yours now. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Hopefully you can hear me right, correct? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Thanks.
Thank you. So first of all, thank you very much to the Blue Mission Med team for the invitation. Usually the Commission does not intervene at this stage of the actions, but we decided to come here to show not only commitment but acknowledgement of the efforts of the CSA Lighthouse, in this case the Mediterranean, to also try to explain to the participant why we are supporting those type of actions. So maybe next slide. Yes. I will not go long into the slides. So the CSA is being supported through the mission Ocean and Water, which is a new vehicle of funding in the Commission. There are a total of 5 missions. One is dedicated to seas and water, and the objective of those missions, as you can see, I mean, they are broken down in 3 specific objectives, then 10 quantitative objectives that needs to be reached by 2030, and how we reach them. And you can see below by the 2 enablers, by a strong engagement and public mobilization, but also by the establishment of what is called a DTO, the digital twin of the oceans. If we can go to the next slide. And this effort started in 2021 and will be going up to 2030, divided into those 3 steps. So first one being many activity around mobilization and engagement that have been taking place since 2021. One of which, for example, is those 4 CSA lighthouse. This one is the Mediterranean, trying to, and I heard Irene saying it, trying to organize, facilitate, encourage the establishment of regional ecosystem of innovation dedicated to the ocean and water challenges around regional areas. So you have listed here on the left side the different elements that help the mobilization. The second one is how we want to support the transition. So this is more now the second phase, as we call it, more or less starting 2025, which is around organizing the support through the different work program of the Commission, but also through the call of associated regions inside some of the action on the mission-funded project, or also a technical assistance mechanism that we have established to support communities. And the third, which is the last, and hopefully the successful one for which you are here today, which is the deployment at scale of identified solution and how we want to help those solutions. So, and that's for me, the right side of the slides and the different elements we want to put in place. If you go to the next and final slide, those are the mechanism we are using to help you deploy your solution. So, as I said, I don't want to speak long. I'm here to listen, to also assess how the ecosystem is being developed, to hear some of the challenges you may have in deploying your solution, and maybe find some solutions or further support to help you grow in your endeavor. So thank you again for the invitation. Looking forward to hear the different solution, and hopefully you'll be deploying with success with your solution to make our oceans and sea healthier. Thank you very much. I will put in the chat after two information. One is the info days that we're having tomorrow. It's an info day in Brussels, but it's online, that present the work program 2025 of the mission. And I will also put the work program itself, so you can see if you can find something for you for applying. Thank you very much.
You're muted, Irene.
Thanks a lot. Sorry. Yes, I was saying that thanks a lot, like, for that information, which I think is super useful for everyone here. So, well, now we will explain a little bit the support program that is behind this series of webinars. Our colleague Matteo Bocci will be taking these slides, as Fedra is, well, she's in another event right now. And yes, then we can present a little bit this and then dive straight into the pitches. But Matteo, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Loic, and all. So thanks a lot for this good showing up. I mean, we know that this topic, it's a bit more niche, very important, but more focused in the overall interest. So it's still a good commitment for all of you to come. So the CSA, as introduced, also mentioned initially by Loic, is one of the initiatives that look at implementation of the mission ocean in the different sea basin, notably this one in the Mediterranean. Really, we engage a wide number of stakeholders. I'm not going through all of that, but you can see on the top left, scope is really moving from regional sea basin level to national and local level. We have a central team and also a national hub in a number of countries that engage really at a more local level. It's a number of actions and work packages. I'm not entering details there, but for the scope of this, for the purpose of today, to be aware that we've been really screening a wide number of transformative, innovative solutions, as we said. So not just an important innovation, but also innovation that would trigger transformation in business model, local approach, policy making, etc. And we address the mission ocean objective with a specific focus, at least this year, on the prevention and elimination of pollution. So that's the overall goal. If you go to the next slide, more specifically to what we're discussing here. So as said, we've mapped innovative and transformative solution, about 100, let's say. And then we've been engaging at the national level and kind of sectoral level. We're engaging with small island, we're engaging with cruise, ports. And now we really want to create this community. So this series of webinars are helping us, first of all, to understand better solution providers, as we call them. So to understand what they offer, what they need, how we can help. But as Irene was saying at the beginning, we call this webinar series community based discussion. We hope that you want to really engage with us, and we have a good exchange in the marketplace session later between those seeking for solution and those offering. And we, from now on until the end of the year, we will support the solution. We will try to engage further with those seeking for solution. We will have additional initiatives and events that we will tell later on. Next slide. So our main target, individuals and organizations, as you can see here, also those that are attending today, are on the one hand, and these are the greenish boxes in the chart, those offering solutions, so the providers, and we will help them upscaling. So we will help early stage solution to try to understand how they can scale up, and also those more commercially viable, we will help mentoring and eventually possibly getting in contact with investors or funding organization or even other partners. On the blue side, more on the public authorities and societal organization and individual, we really look at engaging. So again, I encourage all of you from public authorities or civil society at large to speak up throughout the day today, and we try to help identify the solution you look for, getting in contact and having partnership with the solution providers. And more broadly, we also have a number of actions to address the needs of society and help society be more aware, more active in tackling ocean and maritime pollution. Next slide. So now we go straight to the core of this discussion. So yeah, just can skip this one. We can go to the next one. Thanks, Andrea. And as said, this is an important a niche, but a very important niche. We know there are key actions in the region, in the Mediterranean. There are partnerships, there are platform discussion, there are quite a number of important solutions. Still, this is more focused as audience compared to maybe the first and the third webinar where we discuss monitoring and collection and recycling of waste. And here we look really at restoring, so biotechnologies for reef restoration, bioremediation, nature-based solution at large. Also finding ways to more sustainable alternatives to pollutants in the area of feed, fertilizing, packaging, cosmetics, so everything that really adds value in the production of biological solution for all of these, which are of course part of a broader value chains of aquaculture, farming, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, etc. But also we look at recycling, upcycling of polluting material, which are not necessarily plastic, so fishing gear, aquaculture material. So it's still quite relevant. It's more maybe advanced technologies than the other, and we're very happy to discuss with you today. Next slide. So as for the other webinars that we organize, we envisage 2 sessions. There will be 2 pitching each. In the first session, Abdelaziz Ikram from Morocco will present CAPAQUA, SARL. They will discuss how they address their business. followed by SEABIRD from France, Renal Godet. And then we will have a second session. We might have a break in between the two. A second session where we will be having pitching from Vipyro, Veldomarin Arge from Erginozok, Turkey, sorry, and BIOGEARS from Spain, Leire Arenzamendi. I wasn't very lucky with the names today. I hope I pronounced them all well. And after that, so for each of the two sessions, we will have then one presentation. That the next slide, Andrea, we will have our panelists, and we thank them very much. That will have two main aims they will solve two main aims for us today and in general. But first, more practically, they will challenge you, pitcher, with some question. We expect a round of one question each by each panelist for each solution presented. But also we try to start engaging, and we want to create really a broader ecosystem. So not only solution providers and solution seekers, which are very important, but also try to bring on board and having a dialogue and engagement throughout the year with important initiatives that aim at incubating, accelerating, even funding sustainable solution. And then, of course, but we will mention towards the end, our key event would also be in November, where in Rimini Ecomondo we will have this type of discussion in person, but more to come, more information to come later. So I think this is fine. I thank a lot Urs Ben Fadel from Blue Seeds, Jan Martin de Vet from Green Assist, and Davide Del Maso and Lavinia Carrese from Avanzi. I think now we have a brief slot for these three initiatives to pitch themselves and explain us a little better what you are, what you do in a nutshell. So then we can move to the actual interaction. So please, Green Assist.
Thank you very much, Matteo, and it's very nice to have the opportunity to quickly pitch before the others pitch. So it's a real pleasure to be here back. I'm very excited to listen carefully and also comment on the initiative. So I'm here having my Green Assist hat on. So Green Assist is a free technical assistance advisory scheme, and it is applicable. It's funded, generally funded from the LIFE fund and in the LIFE assistance countries. And it is exactly supporting the type of project that we have here available. So advisory services to prepare greener investment projects. And I think really green investment project is what we talk about, because on the one hand, these projects are having an environmental impact. They are making the oceans better, and they are ticking the boxes, as Loic mentioned. On the other hand, they are investment projects. So they also have the need to generate revenues to be standing on their own. Green Assist is available to both private and public beneficiaries. So the focus is particularly so on smaller businesses and SMEs. So that's indeed what we talk about here today. And it is relatively easily available and provided by a large group of specialized experts that is contracted for each occasion. So that's the perspective that I'm taking today. So I think for the projects today, we'll look particularly at how projects on the one hand are contributing to the environment, on the other hand, having some revenue potential. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Jan Martin, and thanks a lot, Green Assist. So that's fantastic. So we will hear from you later. So we move now to yours for Blue Seeds. If you're there, yours, floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you, Matteo. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here again and be part of this webinar. So my name is Yusr Ben Fadel. I'm in charge of projects development at Blue Seeds, which is a French company supporting marine conservation projects and several stakeholders from protected area managers to coastal communities. We develop projects in several fields of activities, like business incubator for blue and green small businesses. We develop blue carbon projects. We give support to marine protected areas for financial planning. Also, in the field of small-scale fisheries, we developed a pre-financing fund to help them go towards more sustainable practices. And we coordinate a network of NGOs and organizations in the Med aimed at reducing fishing pressures. Again, very happy to be here and looking forward to hear about all the innovations. Thank you.
Thank you very much to you as well, Urs. So while Urs and Jan-Martin were already the star of our previous webinar, and it was did an excellent job to challenge, I think today we want to add an extra twist. So Green Assist as a EU-wide approach, Blue Seeds as a more focused but Mediterranean type of approach, and also maybe a bit broader than that. We also want to engage some national initiatives. So Avanzi is an initiative that supports the Italian accelerators for the blue economy. So I leave the floor to, I think, Davide Del Maso or Lavinia Carese, or both of you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Maybe I will just go first to give a brief overview of Pharos. We decided to present Pharos instead of Avanzi because it's probably more aligned and related to the startup sector today. So thank you for calling us to join this call. We're very happy to be here. Pharos is an acceleration program dedicated to startups in the blue economy and in the main trends that you can see here that go from shipbuilding to sea health and restoration to sustainable aquaculture. So we have seen many different innovations in these past years. We are now launching our fourth call for startups in about 1 week, actually. So I invite you to follow our pages and to stay updated on this call. What is Pharos? Pharos is an opportunity for startups to firstly receive investments to develop their applications, their solutions, and co-develop them with partners. We have a network of partners and mentors, partners that are operating in the energy or smart port sector. So it is an opportunity to open innovate the solutions and to enter in an ecosystem of, how I said, industry players and innovative partners. We presented a brief timeline of what is Pharos. So we will now open the call for startups. We will end the call in the end of July, and we will select the solutions in the beginning of October. And then the program will take place from November to March, and we will end up with a investor day and demo day in March. In this Italian area that you see here on the right, we presented the 2 hubs that is where we operate, that are 2 portual and maritime cities in Italy, very focused on these areas.
Thank you very much, Lavinia. And indeed, very, very nice to see that really, you're evolving through time and you're consistent and growing. Also, all of you, I see Jan-Martin already shared the possible links for solution, application, etc. So I encourage all of you to share on the chat with our colleagues information. Now we go into the actual thing, right? So we have this pitching session. So as said, we will have 2 sessions, 1 presentation, 3 questions, 1 each from all 3 panelists. The time for reaction, of course, and then we have a bit of a break, and then we start with another one, and then we have a broader engaging with the whole community. So first thing first, rules of the game for this elevator pitch, virtual elevator pitch, I would say. Please, pitchers, stay within 5 minutes. We will count the time, and our colleagues will put in a chat when it's about time to stop, and I will have to enforce it, so bear with me for that. Rule of the game, really, keep it short, nice, good flow of information. powerful and clear wording, and so that our pitcher are able to articulate maybe some questions and challenge you a bit to understand better what to do, what you expect to do, and how we can help, and most importantly. So these are the rules of the game. So we start the game now. First pitching round. CAPAQUA, if Abdelaziz Iksar from Morocco. I see you there in your car. I hope you're parked somewhere. You're muted, actually. You should unmute. Aziz, you're muted.
Okay,
That's great. Yes. So I hope you park well. We don't want to have casualties from this pitching. So we have a car, not an elevator pitch, but that's great. And
I am on the road to my farm.
Okay, good. I think we have some slide, but maybe we can run it, no, colleagues? But please, Aziz, go ahead, and if we can show the presentation, I will tell you when we're ready.
Can you share the presentation?
I think so. I'm watching at my colleagues, but they're doing something on the screen, so I guess he will come.
Yes, we can share the presentation. Just give us 1 second, thanks.
And thank you very much, Aziz, again. I mean, what we try to do really is working across the sea basin. So we know Morocco does a lot, and it's great to hear from you.
It's me. Thank you for allowing me to participate in this webinar. Huh?
Oh, well, our pleasure. We should be ready, I think. Sorry, a bit of a virtual time, but we're almost there. Yeah. So whenever you want, Aziz, floor is yours.
Okay. I can't see the presentation for the moment.
We see it, but maybe there's a bit of a delay. Do you see that?
Okay, now it's okay. Hello, good morning, everybody. I am Ikzan Abdelaziz from Morocco, from the farm, offshore mussels farm in the north of Agadir. Next, please. The big problem we have now in Morocco, even we have 3,500 kilometers of coast, all the fisheries start to have a big overfish. And a lot of revenue of fishers are collapsed. Next, please. Our solution is to build a big farm of 15 hectares in the offshore using the technique of long lines for producing mussels and building a factory for storage and expedition of shellfish in the same region. Next, please. Our product, we plan to produce 400 tons each year of fresh mussels, naturally grown and out of any source of pollution and chemical and antibiotics. As you know, mussels is a superfood who is rich in protein, iron, and omega-3 lipids. Next, please. Our principal clients are hotels, restaurants, fish retailers, and particulars from the region of Agadir and Marrakesh. Next, please. Our business have a green growth component, who is our product is 100% natural, and we plan to recycle all the shells for poultry farming, and our project will create 65 jobs, principally women and rural persons. The component of innovation is to cultivate a step on Pelodismos mauritanicus, if there is specialist, and handcraft some bio-based vegetal ropes for spot collections. because we will have a big problem for spot collections in the region. There is a lot of farms, and perhaps they will compete with the women who are living from the coastal communities. Next, please. We have done an experience of this step. We cultivated in Morocco, and we sent it to our partner in Toronto, who is a cooperative who is specialized in spot collection. And you see in the right, the results are magnific. This rope are collecting very good the spots of mussels. Next, please. So in this project, we need nearly, excuse me, it is in Moroccan dirham, but no way. Normally, 10 Moroccan dirham is €1. So only divide per 10. We need nearly 500,000 euro in 2 years, 26 and 27, for equipping our factory and passing to the industrial exploitation. Next, please. Our staff is composed by me. I am an agronomical engineer from Agronomical Institute of Rabat, and from high school from France in Saint-Doren. I have 36 years experience in the seafood processing. I have with me my daughter, Afaf, who is specialized in marketing, Lassan, who is a boss in artisanal boats, Faisal, who is a diver and fishing mander, and Akhwar Idris, who is chief of restauration, who will occupy the contact with the restaurants and the distribution. Next, please. Thank you very much. I hope to explain you a little my business, and I am yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very, very clear, interesting, and to the point. A lot of applause, I see. So good. Yeah, I think we start with a question. So again, someone is raising his or her hand. Yeah, please tell us. Davide, yes. Hello, Davide. We don't hear you really, but. Would you mind, Davide, while you try to check, we start with the others to ask questions. So it will be one question each. So maybe Yus, if you can start with your question, and then Davide will try to fix it. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you very much for this very interesting presentation and great project. I particularly appreciate the fact that you highlight the job creation part in your presentation. It's interesting. And I have a question on this point. As you mentioned that you are willing to employ women and create around 60 jobs, are you planning to also provide capacity building support to these women? To ensure the long-term economic inclusion of this rural workers.
Thank you for the question. In my region, there is a cooperative, a big cooperative of women who are fishing by foot of mussels. They have 150 women, and I tried to employ 50 of them. And we have a big program with the ministry for all the for supporting them.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I suspect that David still has some issue. Maybe I run it. Yes, I go to Jan Martin, and then we'll see. Please, Jan Martin.
Very good morning from Brussels. Congratulations on this fantastic pitch. Very impressive project. And indeed, mussels are wonderful product, and it's amazing to see that you have already achieved so much. My question is as follows. Of course, the willingness of your clients to pay for these mussels, presumably a bit of an extra price. depends on a few factors, including, of course, the guaranteed quality of your mussels and the willingness of the restaurants, hotels, and other clients to possibly pay a little bit extra. So can you say a bit more about, on the one hand, your ability to guarantee the constant and the good quality, which is, of course, a challenge. On the other hand, the willingness of your clients to pay for good mussels. Thank you.
Thank you for this question. Our factory, who are now expecting to have the agreement of the ONSA, of the security authority of Morocco, and we use the HACCP method for controlling every stage of our from the farming to the client. And in another hand, we are planning to do one degustation center, a little restaurant for preparing for all the person to taste this product. We have a very good product. I see the very big difference between that I see in the north of Morocco. Huh?
Thank you very much. So we try again. Davide, if you're there, if not, maybe Lavinia can pose a question, but please, Davide.
I can try. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see you, but I hear you, which is good.
Okay. Now problem is solved. No, thank you also from my side. I have a very basic question, I would say, which is in comparison with the say traditional farming techniques. Where do you see the major differences in terms of environmental and economic advantages or disadvantages of your solution?
Before arresting our technique, we tried to do many techniques. We start with Japanese one, and after Spanish one, and now we are working with Italian technique that we see in the Taranto region, but applied in the ocean. Our technique is very good, so all the farms are 1 kilometer far from the coast, so far from any source of pollution and everything. Yeah? And our specialty, we work with artisanal boats, so we have a very good connection with all the farmers, all the fishers in the region. So there is no competition. We work all for the same target.
Thank you very much, Aziz. I mean, I don't know if there's any other burning question from our panelists. Otherwise, that was very interesting, and we can move to the next presentation.
I excuse my bad English. Many years I didn't speak English. Huh?
No, you're doing very well. So that's great and sounds very promising. So I think we're all excited about that. Thanks a lot. So then we can move maybe to the other one.
Yes.
SEABIRD, yes, please. I don't know if you manage your presentation or we should do it.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So please, Reynal, the floor is yours.
You see my screen, yes?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so let's go. So we are all affected by plastic pollution, and I am almost sure everyone here today has seen plastic waste on beach. And do you know that 27% of marine waste are fishing gears waste? So good morning, everyone. I'm Reynal Godet, Innovative Materials Engineer at SEABIRD, and today I'm going to talk you about our breakthrough innovation. It's an innovative bioplastic that can be transformed into a monofilament and makes it possible to produce new fishing nets. So our bioplastic are bio-based, organically recyclable and biodegradable at sea. So why is this invention? Because plastic pollution is becoming more and more important, with harmful effect on marine organisms and on the entire food chain. Therefore, it is important to find solutions that are sustainable and eco-friendly to save our sea and ocean. So, sorry, after being used, the conventional fishing nets are difficult to recycle. They are soiled with algae, shellfish, and other marine biofouling, and the wear and tear related to fishing activity does not allow to have a recycled material with good performance. In addition, 2% of annual fishing gear production is lost or released into the environment each year. So today we have mass produce for we have as mass produce more plastics than there are living things on our planet, and more than 10 million of these plastics are dumped into the ocean each year. So by 2050, if nothing is done, there will be more plastics than fish in the ocean. To be more specific, pollution is and will be so important that fishermen will find more plastics than fish in their nets. So which will be an economic disaster, a social disaster, fewer food resources, for example, and an environmental disaster. So it's a decrease in marine biodiversity. So that's why SEABIRD has been working in research and development for more than 10 years to find solutions to plastic pollution in the ocean. And now we are proud to be the first European company to have developed the first bio-based and biodegradable fishing net in Europe. Better still, SEABIRD is the first company to have developed the first braided sheet trawl net in the world. We are now able to produce monofilament braid rope with different diameter and colors. So it is possible to reduce the use of fossil resources through decarbonized and renewable solutions. We can also prevent the buildup of persistent microplastic in the marine environment. So by using our solution, you are participating in the European circular economy because our solution is organically recyclable. Indeed, the raw materials used to make this fishing net are plant or bacterial, so no oil, no gas, and can be assimilated by microorganisms at the end of their life. No plastic pollution and reduction in cost fishing. So as a manufacturer of pellets and monofilament, we now have a strong network allowing us to manufacture fishing net, but there are still many partners to be found. Manufacturer of rope, for example, trawl, traps, and other kind of net. Our technology, patented in Europe, is therefore intended for manufacturer of all types of fishing gear and also for fishery, small or large. They can use the rock tools that will not impact the environment and is an essential workplace for the fishing activity. So at the beginning of SEABIRD, we were supported by regional investment funds, and then we have participated in national and European projects. Now we need to grow up to an industrial producer step, and even if the price of the bionet is around 20% higher than a conventional net, if we integrate cost saving of plastic pollution, biodiversity saving, and fossil raw material reduction, I'm sure that we are on the good way. So about our company, SEABIRD is a SME private research laboratory. Our team is composed by engineer and PhD, and now we want to increase our production capacity for pellets and monofilament while continuing our R&D to develop materials that are more and more efficient and substitutable for conventional plastic. To date, we have developed different kinds of bionets that have been tested in real condition in 2 pilot projects. 3 trammel nets in the north of France, thanks to the TEFIBio project led by the French Office for Biodiversity, OFB, 10 straight net in Cyprus, and 1 trawl net in Argentina, thanks to the European Horizon 2020 Sea Life projects. So if you are a plastic transformer, a fishing ship owner, or a fisherman, don't hesitate to approach us. So finally, we have already validated that our bioplastic are biodegradable in industrial compost and are not ecotoxic. Some of our nets have been tested and validated. This is the case in France, but in Cyprus, the climatic condition did not allow the net to be durable in-house for the fishing season. To expand on a larger scale, we need to improve and test our fishing net in other environments. And therefore, we are looking for project leader or contractor capable of financing these trials and volunteer fishermen to be able to test our solution anywhere in Europe. Our objective is to analyze the constraint of fishing in various conditions with different environmental parameters like UV, temperature, salinity, and thus be able to optimize our fishing nets. We need to provide a solution that can be used by all small and big fishery. So thank you for listening and hope to have coached you in our net of innovative bio-based and biodegradable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Reynald. Very clear. And so maybe we go back to the question now. I don't know, maybe Martin, if you want to start.
Sure. Bonjour, Reynald. It's a real pleasure and very impressed to see your beautiful project. My question is a little bit similar to the previous one. Sorry to be boring, but from an economic perspective, it is absolutely clear that your benefits in the environmental benefits are very high. However, I struggle with the question as to whether fishermen are willing to pay the 20% higher costs, because obviously the fishermen themselves are under huge financial pressures, and whether there are perhaps alternative revenue streams or alternative ways to bring in. For instance, is it possible to envision a tax on the other nets, or as you have already benefited from public support, to make a case for a longer term subsidy, so that indeed the public and the private benefits are balanced. So thank you.
Yes, good question, and I think that to start to develop this innovation, we need to have help from a European state, for example, to test our technology in real condition, and we almost need to test in other country. So we have already tested in France. It's working, but in Cyprus we need to improve the UV resistance, for example, and so that's why we need to test in I don't know, in Spain, Italy, or other European country to have a really good technology for the bio fishing net. About the price, as you know, bioplastic is 1% of the plastic total production in the world, so there is a difference in the price at the beginning with the raw material, but at the end 20% higher for fishing net bionet. It's okay, complicated for the fishermen, but if we have some help for European Union or French state or other state, I think that we after have decreased the price and so to have the equal price of conventional nets in the future year.
If you allow me just to comment and to think along with you a little bit, what I could imagine is your nets could possibly be stronger, or that they will have a longer life cycle, a lifespan, and therefore that, I mean, of course, you know, in the circular way, we don't need to look only at the purchasing price, but if there is a longer operating time of these nets, then I could see that is an advantage. And I also understand that if you can roll out the nets to more countries, that possibly your additional costs would go down. So I would say very important to think along with the fishermen and to find the reasoning for them to really buy your beautiful nets. Thank you very much.
So indeed, higher return of investment. Yeah, thanks a lot. So maybe yours, and then Davide.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. It's a highly relevant project, really. It responds to a real need for fishermen. My question regarding what you just said about your need to implement other pilot site projects to make sure that the product is the material is relevant and the quality is here. How much time does it take really for you to implement, test, and validate your material on site? And is the material flexible enough to be applicable to other type of fishing gears, like crab nets, fishing for crab?
Okay, so at SEABIRD, we develop different kind of formulation for different kind of projects. So we have a formulation for fishing net, for another for mussel net, for example, fish crate, and other kind of sea projects. So we can manage for requirement. If you need a more solid or more flexible net, we can develop a specific formulation. So what we need, we can develop the raw material, the pellets, we can produce a monofilament, but we need to have fishing net producer that you could use our monofilament and transform in a braid net or troll net or trommel net. And so after we need to volunteer fishermen.
Okay. And for the lifetime of a project?
So for example,
for
the TEFIBio project have a 3-year project, but now I think with 2 years, because sometimes is one fishery season is 1 year, so we need to have 2 years for the beginning of the project, the test in real condition, and have for example a composting test of the fishing net. So 2 or 3 years is enough.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, maybe Davide or Lavinia, floor is yours now.
Yes, thank you. So thank you for the presentation. Very interesting solution to a very serious problem. My question is on the process and on the innovation. So you talked a lot about your R&D activities that brought you here. My question is, do you have a patent that covers this? And if yes, what process does it covers? And if do you think that the competitive scenario is threatening, so it's easy for other kind of solutions are present to access the same target customers?
Okay, so we have a European patent of our formulation and for the development of our monofilament. So we have 2 European patents for this. And what is the second question? Sorry.
No, it was what it covers, but you already said it. If it was more in a competitive scenario, so do you think the other kind of solutions in this area are threatening, and if you think your patent is enough to protect your solution?
So it is enough in Europe. not at international level, because at this moment we have one Korea concurrency. So so yes, that's it. And about the strength of our formulation, if I can say about it, we have the same property than a PE net raw material, and we have the same durability of nylon. But at the end, our formulation are biodegradable at sea. So our formulation is biodegradable in a decade of year, compared to the nylon of PE that is more 400, 1000 years.
Okay, thank you. I think that was clear, no, Lavinia? I mean, I don't know, Davide, if you want to add anything else, or we move to the next solutions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, maybe we are adapting on the way. So, Loic, yes, please, Loic.
Yeah, I was not expecting to intervene, but I had to, because if I understood correctly, there is a need here for potentially EU funding for demonstration of that solution. And I want to, and I will put it in the chat after, I want to encourage Renal to pay attention to some of the action that will start in June that come from the work program 2024, which are called community-led actions. And they are actions of 12.5 million euro each, dedicated at each sea basin, under which those actions will provide support to third party to cascading grant of the size, I think, from 200 to 1 million, where we will, where demonstration of that type of solution is encouraged and supported. And also, in echoing what was said by Martin, develop based with the buy-in of the concerned communities, in that case, the fishery, but not only, probably local authorities. So I will send you the different reference. They should start in June, then they will have the call within the year, and that this is those type of initiative of early stage developments that cannot be supported through other mechanism like Blue Invest that we encourage. I think you fit in terms of eligibility of the objective, you fit in terms of the scope. You would have also probably to work hard on making sure that the end user, the fishery, the target group, is really on board and adopt the solution at an economic acceptability for their business. So thank you very much. I will put the information on the chat. So, and the team can probably relate after.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot to you, Loic. In fact, maybe it's also a good assist for us to remember that, you know, part of what we're trying to do is in this engagement with other initiatives, we certainly aim to create linkages with this community-led action for the Mediterranean. And this is where really the matchmaking and the kind of marketplace relation between solutions and users and maybe, and again, all these other panelist initiatives can happen. So we really try to create this ecosystem, because this initiative from now to November is really a pilot, and then we will continue. So I mean, hopefully answer someone else on this, but the idea is really to create this infrastructure for transformation. So that was fantastic to remind Loic. What I wanted to say also is that as we adapt all on the go, it seems we have an issue with our Turkish solution. So maybe we skip the pause, we run to the third pitching, and then panelists, if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. If you're busy, you know, you can go. I will ask you for a final reflection anyway, and we will keep in touch. And then we will have our exchanges. I know some of our regions want to share some views, so maybe we finish a little earlier I hope still that Pep or Tato Diaz could join before that. So I don't see any strange faces. I assume it's okay. So I also see Leire getting prepared. So please, Leire, floor is yours. Let us know if you can manage your presentation or we should do it, and go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm managing myself. I will try. Just tell me if you see it full screen.
It's good. If you can put it in full screen. The sound is a little muddy, but if you speak slow, I think it's please go ahead.
Yeah, you see the full screen now?
Perfect.
Yeah, and you can hear me well?
Yes, you can stay closer to the screen. I think we hear you better. It's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Okay, I will start then. I'm Leila Nzamendi. I was the coordinator of BioGears European project, and I will present the BioGears as a solution. They are bio-based ropes for mussel aquaculture. Aquaculture can be a source of marine litter and plastic pollution, as we know. Annually, over 40,000 tons of plastic are discarded from aquaculture production, at least in the North Atlantic. And they can create many negative impacts in the environment, also economic losses or cause toxicity through to the marine organisms and also to human through the trophic chain. However, current strategies aim to reduce by 50% the marine litter and by 30% the microplastics by 2030. So we are presenting today BioGears as a more sustainable alternative to fossil-based currently used mussel ropes as being more eco-efficient. This means that they can increase mussel yield up to 85% compared to fossil-based counterparts, and while reducing by 20% the environmental footprint per kilogram of mussel produced. Then the higher biomaterial price is compensated by higher mussel production. Our value proposition then are these BioGears, which offer a high performance, cost-effective, bio-based, biodegradable, and compostable ropes. So our competitive advantages are that this higher material price is compensated by a higher mussel production yield. They are more sustainable, technically, environmentally, and economically. So they have a regulatory compliance with current strategies. They are as durable as fossil-based counterparts, at least are 1 year mussel production validation period, and they fit to circular economy by offering us a circular value chain by being a compostable or upcycle by organic recycling at the end of their use. Our business model and implementation potential. We are a consortium, exploitation consortium out of BioGears project. We are ASTI, Geiger, and Centesbel. We are a patent application ongoing. We have targeted clients in Europe and outside Europe. We have been receiving interest in European, all across Europe, and also in outside like Australia, New Zealand, United States, or India. We aim to obtain the revenue by IP transference, by patent licensing to rope producers and aquaculture gear suppliers. And our market potential is estimated in more than 3 million meters of mussel rope per year used nowadays in Europe. This sector is growing offshore, so this market potential could be more than this or increase, and also by the increasing algae sector nowadays. Our next steps. We are looking for rope producers, aquaculture gear suppliers for patent licensing. We are also looking for industrial partners for scalability of the production of these ropes. And nowadays, currently, we are developing pilot sites to increase technology readiness level with ongoing transition project where we are validating improved prototypes, improving mechanical properties compared to the ropes developed in BioGears project. And we are also preparing some proposals for the validation of these bio-based ropes in other applications like algae ropes. So feel free to contact us or me. I put here my contact details, and I will be happy to answer to your questions now. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Leire. Yeah, that's very good. And maybe we start now with Davide and/or Lavinia, and then we move to Jan Martin and yours.
Thank you. I have, in fact, a couple of questions. The first is maybe a bit naive or technically improper, but I would like to know how do you prevent the risk that the biodegradation process starts before the end of the life cycle of the material. So when the rope is in the water, is there any risk that the biodegradation starts before you expect to happen? And the second question is more linked to your business model, because I see that most solution that provides new raw materials face the problem of the incumbent industry. So I wonder if your main competitors, who are the producer of, say, traditional plastic products, can be in fact your customer. So have you ever considered to sell your patent or your solution to the actual producer of competing materials to favor a smooth transition rather than a strong opposition between the two different competing offers?
Yes, I will answer by parts. I think your questions are really interesting because usually they are the key questions that are on the table regarding these products. Okay, let's go for the first. Regarding biodegradability, yes, this is a really big issue, but to avoid this, we design the ropes with bio-based materials, not biodegradable in sea, because for this application, let's see, aquaculture ropes, we need durable ropes. So this might be durable more than one production cycle, which means that they should not be degradable in sea. So anyway, we tested biodegradability in sea by an ISO standard, and they were not biodegradable at sea, but compostable in soil. Okay, so we conducted this test just to be assured that they are not being degraded in the marine environment. This is also in compliance with the current strategies that should not that they recommend not to use biodegradable materials in sea, so that the sea is not a degradation environment. It's not like used for this. Okay, so our intention is that at the end of the life of the use life of the rope, you collect these rope and you transport it to the organic recycling facilities. They can be compostable at industrial composting conditions. This is one other thing that we also tested. Okay, so we are sure that we should operate or have sustainable practices in aquaculture. So at the end of the use phase, we collect these ropes and not leave them on the seabed, so we can manage them. We can have a sustainable end of life management of the ropes. Okay, and regarding the second question, of course, yes, these rope producers can be competitors, but I also mentioned that we are targeting rope producers and aquaculture gear suppliers. So this can be one of the industries that can implement easiest or in a shorter period of time, or be interested in this product earlier than others. So we assume that these are the partners we are looking for. Of course, some of them can be competitors, but they will be willing to implement this type of product in their catalog.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Very clear. So, yeah, maybe use then, yeah, Martin.
Yes, thank you for this presentation. I have one question regarding the feedback that you got from the pilot testers, the early adopters of your product, regarding the cost and the performance of your product. I remember you linked both at the beginning of your presentation, so I'll be happy to hear about more on-field feedback.
Yes. In this side, thanks for your question first. In this side, we conducted a survey to farmers and also to other sectors like fish aquaculture companies or farmers, and their willingness to implement this solution was clear. Their conditions were that they will be willing to pay like 5 to 10% more of the conventional ropes or conventional materials every time they have higher production, and with the same how to say, with the same mechanical properties of the ropes they use now, in terms of especially of durability. So that's the reason why we are trying to improve this durability and get the ropes with improved mechanical properties. In this transition project, we are going to test new ropes with improved mechanical properties in offshore and in raft. Okay, it's a spandrel mussel. In offshore, this is high energy conditions, and raft, this is in a low energy conditions. So we are going to see what happens and what could be replicable in other European production sites, especially for the right raft, low energy, could be, or we are willing to have a replicability of these pilots in, for example, Galicia, which is the first mussel producer in Europe. And with the offshore part, we will be willing to reproduce this in these offshore facilities that are potentially expanding in Europe.
Thank you.
I don't know if I've answered your question.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
It was very
thank
clear.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, yours, and thank you. Yeah, please, yeah, Martin. That's.
Yeah, my questions are more or less building on the previous one. So thank you a lot, Lara. I mean, very impressive project, and also very good to see that you have already done so much work, including the technical side of things and also the survey, and that you have the data, on willingness to pay and the higher prices, but also durability. So there seems to be a good case for aquaculture operators to really use your nets. But it's still not, also after David's question, fully clear who your clients will then be, whether you will be directly selling the nets to the aquaculture operators, or, as David suggested, that you would indeed get into contact with the manufacturers of the nets, because I think, I'm not sure also whether ASTI itself, being an research institute, right, would probably not produce it. So if your model is to sell the licenses, then indeed your client would become the net manufacturers. And then also wondering indeed whether you could progress faster by first focusing on a limited type of aquaculture. You refer to the mussels in Galicia, so that seems very close by. That seems a logical starting point. It may also be that the nets are possibly more applicable for one type of aquaculture, like mussels, or for others. So step by step, I would say, but it's very good to see, again, who would you be your main clients to get that answer. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, interesting. Yes, just to make it clear, our first target is raw producers, then our aquaculture gear suppliers, which means that we can sell directly the patent license, or also help these suppliers to upscale the production. So that's why we are in a second round or second idea. We are seeking for industrial partners. Our intention is not to produce the ropes. This is directly to sell the patent license, non-exclusive. And if we have, depending on the type of client, if they are aquaculture gear producers, they will need this rope to be produced. So we'll be facilitating them by contract for this upscaling, and accompanying them through this implementation of industrial implementation. Okay, this is the two. Perhaps this was not so clear in the presentation. These are the two opportunities for the business model. Okay, yeah. But we are targeting, of course, first raw producers.
Very quickly, if you allow me, Matteo, one additional thought thinking along is, if you would sign, and this is very, very helpful, if you would sign such contracts with either raw producers or the aquaculture gear producers, I could imagine that you would also, that they would also have an interest in remaining engaged with you. So you may want to consider a service level agreement, so that you would constantly inform and advise the raw producers. Also, for instance, if there is news on new innovations, or if you have new discoveries or new, anything evolving in the product, so that they would have an interest in staying close to you, and that they may also have questions, concerns, that you have perhaps a longer relation with them, and have a kind of service level. And charge some little fees for that. That would be an interesting possibility, perhaps. Yeah. Thank you.
That's right. We are also giving this assistance or service in terms of research for the validation of these ropes in other regions, or other marine regions that can be implementing this solution. Yes, this is another part of, because we are research institutions, either ASTI, Geiger, and Centesbel. Okay, so we are in a partnership of this. Yeah, we will offer this. You also mentioned another thing. I don't know. You have Regarding the implementation of the ropes, we are going to launch soon another survey for the bio-based solution implementation to the aquaculture sector. And we are going to compare and update the results from what we done in BioGEARS project. So this is one of our aims for engaging again the sector, aquaculture sector, and all the value chain. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks to you, Leire, and all your panelists, because not only challenged you, but also gave a bit of early advice as well. So that was quite interesting. We will certainly pick on that. Now maybe a couple of things to understand where we want to go collectively. So first of all, I think we have some issues that we couldn't solve with the last solution. So most likely the person might join, but I know at some point soon now the panelists might need to leave. So we might move the Vupayro Veldo Turkish solution in our last webinar, PT, but that will be fine, I guess. Yeah, as our colleagues were saying, you have the link here for all the seekers that want to follow up with that and having a bit more information anyway. So second point, I think, given that we finish here, maybe I gave a couple of minutes each of you panelists to offer some reflection on the things so far, and also for us, maybe suggestions and certainly consideration to the solution. And then we see whether we want to stop 5 minutes or maybe we jump directly into the marketplace discussion and we close a bit earlier than expected. But yeah, so maybe lady first, if you don't mind. So Yusra, Lavinia, Davide, and Martin, some final consideration from all of you, and thanks a lot again. That was very interesting and helpful. Yusra, please.
Yes. Well, I would like to thank all the participants and congratulations for these great projects and great pitches as well. It's very encouraging to see how you all commit to achieve sustainability through innovation, but it's a common point for all the projects. You are all going from the ground and searching for impact, very local impact. So that's really great. I think it's promising. You still all have great challenges for scaling, and well, I'll be happy to follow the next steps for all of you. Thank you.
Thanks to you, Yusra. Lavinia, maybe.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I also add my compliments to all the startups. I think the solutions are really interesting in what the problem and urge of the problem is. I see two main critical points, that they are challenges more than critical points, that they have to face, that are that have emerged, that are the willingness of the market to actually not only know and get to host these innovations, but also adopt them, starting from the consumers, the target customers. And I see that you are all working in this direction, and the long time to validate actually the technologies, to test and co-develop, co-pilot them. And also in this probably this program, and I hope also this call with the people that we were, maybe could help in giving some opportunities to see not only funds, but also opportunities to develop the innovations.
Thank you, indeed. Thank you, Lavinia and Davide.
Yeah, thank you. Well, my thought that I want to share with you is about the experience that we have run so far through the FAROS program. I think that the perceived added value of our initiative is not only in the opportunity to have access to the training program, neither to the investor community. The real added value that the startups perceive is about the possibility to cooperate with corporation. Maybe Lavinia mentioned the fact that the program is somehow sponsored by large corporations operating in different fields of the blue economy, and the opportunity to validate the solution and the business proposition with the larger corporates who have direct access to market opportunities that know very well say the barriers or the real pain of the market is a great chance for them to validate their ideas. So my general comment is that I think that for all these startups it's very important to establish a dialogue from the very beginning with the business sector and the business community. Of course, I acknowledge the fact that they might be the opponents to the innovation, but in the long run, say a proactive company does see the value of innovation, even when it's very disruptive and can challenge their traditional business. But here I see the real opportunity to transform the way in which the blue economy works. So I highly recommend a closer contact with the business sector, in particular with the large corporations.
Thank you, Davide. And indeed, I mean, this idea of transformative solution really builds on what you say. So not just per se, but as a way to start a dialogue with the business community and see how that can trigger new solutions. We know that we're all kind of innovation averse to a certain extent. So this is where the challenge is. And we try to engage. And again, we will follow up with all of you anyhow to see whether we can maybe cooperate in sharing this dynamic with the business community. Last but not least, please, Martin and Green Assist.
Thank you. Well, it's echoing what the other panelists have said. And first of all, really congratulations to all three projects, very well thought through. And very well developed, and all of them have also demonstrated, there's problems. However, the problems are indeed tend to be, let's say, societal, environmental problems at the heart of the Blue Mission Met. So, as Loïc mentioned in the beginning, but indeed the question is there a willingness to pay for your clients to actually solve the problem? Because the private entities, the private companies that you are tailoring may or may not have a willingness to pay. It depends also on whether they can sell their products, their fish in all cases, for slightly higher prices, or whether there are other efficiencies that they can gain. And indeed, there have been elements of response to that and also the solutions. But I would really say, echoing what Davide said, if you pitch your customers, which would be the other stakeholders and the private sector clients, then make clear what would in it be for them, because they are businesses, and we know there are also businesses that are not necessarily having a high margin, suffering economically as well. So that's the first thing. And then if it turns out, and then indeed I would also bring in testimonies, so that you have some examples, so that others could also more easily sway you. If indeed it turns out that it's not so easy, then it would be, as Loïc suggested, a good case to see whether indeed you can get some more support, grant support from local, mostly local, I would say, governments. So in that sense, it's very important to also focus then on specific territories. That it's really clear that in those territories, you will have benefits in terms of less pollution. As I have my Green Assist hat on, yes, I think all projects in themselves would, I mean, I expect that they could fit very well also in Green Assist, which means that there would be free advisory available to strengthen business models. Free advisory is typically about 50 days of work, But the investments that would need to be made would need to be rather substantial. So we easily talk about a 1 million euro size. And bear in mind, it's only for life supported countries. And unfortunately, that is not the south coast of the Mediterranean. So I'm really sorry for CAPAQUA because it's such a strong project. But for BioGears and SEABIRD, that would definitely be the case. And I will also put an email address, but so that you can reach out to the colleagues running this. But also, Matteo, you also are staying close to these projects, and feel free to also lead them to Green Assist if that can help to strengthen. So many thanks. It's been an absolute joy, and wishing you all well on this wonderful project. Thank you.
Thanks you, Martin, and all. Indeed, also very good insights you offer. I mean, Irene will then remind all of us and all of you what we aim to do, but these are really the type of direction we want to start, you know. So we had this as a starting point, and then we will understand how to engage with business, how to look for maybe grants available to pilot, and etc. Yeah, so I think, well, pity we cannot have our Turkish solution. So thanks a lot for all the panelists. Maybe back to you, Irene. We can take 5 minutes pause or just go straight until the end, as it.
Yeah, maybe
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Sol. Yeah, I would say let's take a 5-minute break, and then we come back with the marketplace session.
Yeah.
So
we're back at 45
yeah.
CET. Please stay in well, except for the panelists that need to leave, please stay and we will shout when we come back. Thank you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. It's 11:46 already, so the break is over, unfortunately or fortunately. Hopefully you are still there. Okay. All right then. Well, I hope you had a nice break. Thank you to all the speakers for your very inspiring pitches, really, and thanks a lot to all our panelists as well, from Blue Seeds, Avanci, Green Assist. You have provided really valuable feedback to our pitchers, and this in itself is already a very helpful piloting exercise that will prepare the pitchers for addressing investors in the future or other organizations. So I think it was a nice opportunity. So we're now shifting to what we've called the marketplace. This is where we aim to ensure interaction with the solutions and also between them, so you can share challenges and experiences in piloting and scaling your solutions. So yeah, the idea is that we bring together here the solution providers that you have just heard about with potential customers, partners, or implementers in the audience. So we propose starting with a very quick poll, again online, just to see where you stand in terms of potentially applying or scaling the solutions that you have heard about. Just a couple of questions, nothing too deep, but just to help guide the conversation later on, and then also help us in making the right connections between you and the solution providers. So please, the first question would be, I hope it appears in your screen. The first question for you would be, which solution is better suited to prevent and eliminate pollution of our oceans, seas, and waters from your perspective, of course. This will already give us an insight on who we could ensure your partnership with. Then the second question goes a bit deeper in this sense, which would be which solution you would like to follow up with in the future. Please feel free that you can select more than one option here. So in case you think the solutions that you heard about today, well, you think they are of interest, that you think you would like to know more about them, or maybe explore some potential partnership with them, then please go ahead and let us know here. We will take good note of your responses, and then we will ensure that these connections are made after the webinar. We will share the contact details of our solution providers, our pitchers, of course, if they agree, with those of you that are interested in following up directly. And then finally, we included a third open question, which is about which areas are not addressed by the solutions from your point of view, and that would still be relevant for you in order to meet your goals. I see in the audience, people from regional and local authorities. So I see the Ville de Marseille, I see Barcelona City Council, the Eastern Black Sea Development Agency, etc. So please feel free to let us know here in case you have a challenge related to bio-based innovation that you didn't see clearly met from what you heard today. Then maybe we can discuss a little bit further and see how we can help you in the future. Okay, we will give you a few minutes to record your responses. And then, as mentioned, we will share the contact details to make sure these connections happen. I see 4 responses so far. We encourage you to fill this in, as it will help us a lot later on in creating the necessary connections. So far, it seems the majority of respondents are interested in most of the solutions. SEABIRD seems to be, so far, according to our audience, best suited to prevent and eliminate pollution. Of course, BioGears and CAPAQUA are following very, very closely. This, of course, depends on the interest, the particular interest of each of the participants here. Then we see SEABIRD and BioGears as among the main solutions that the audience would like to follow up with. This is very useful information for our pitchers here who will receive the information about who is interested in following up with them. And then we see a few areas that have not been yet addressed by the solutions that are relevant to our audience. These include governance levels. Perhaps whomever included this response could elaborate a bit further later on. Plastic prevention, policy lobbying as well. Okay. Okay, this is a good starter. So, well, before we open the floor for Q&A and interaction, I wanted to give the floor to one of the regions who are present today with us. It's the region Emilia-Romagna in Italy, who is leading a smart specialization interregional partnership on blue biotechnology. So very much linked to the topic that we're discussing today. So we have Tiziana de Nittis today with us.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I will give you the floor now. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. And thank you really very much for involving also our regional government within this event. I would say that, well, first of all the speeches have been really very, very much interesting because one of the key topic of the partnership that I'm coordinating, that is called MASBE, Maritime Sustainable Blue Bioeconomy, is exactly also on blue biotechnologies, because basically what really we need is to favor as a regional government this kind of synergies among different key actors, companies, research centers, public authorities, in order to create the right environment where to really activate this kind of synergies. Challenges are really complicated because, of course, what we see also from the solutions that have been presented, we need companies to put in place technologies that are advanced, that can prevent the impact at environmental level, also because the sea is our main resource because we have so many activities impacting basically the sea, so aquaculture rather than tourism, rather than other really strategic sectors. What we have done in our partnership, I wanted to share, but I don't know if there will be time, because I have a very short presentation just to give you an idea of what we are, because basically in I don't know if it is in presentation mode. Let me see. Maybe yes. Okay. So our partnership is so of course very, very wide, and as you can see here, basically we range from the Adriatic through the Mediterranean. We reach also the ocean. So basically we just miss the Nordic seas, and our topics are exactly these 4 strategic areas, and they come from the crossing of the smart specialization strategies of the regional actors that are involved, regional governments that are involved. But in addition of the regional governments, we have also companies, research centers, universities. So is a very wide and diversified partnership. Why it is important, as said, basically to combine all these actors, apart from let's say the challenges that we are also facing within our partnership. But what is important is so exactly to share the expertise, to put in place the knowledge that each one has. Basically, what we need is to act at different levels. We need new business models. We need to think of a more efficient use of resources, so that let's say the circular approach becomes more and more stronger in whatever kind of sectors we are going to act. But of course, sometimes so circularity can affect also business models. That's why we really need to act at different levels. And in order to do so, we really need to put in place all the strengths and all the different approaches that can be important. As regional governments, regional government, so especially in Emilia-Romagna, apart from the fact that here is displayed, let's say, basically a slide to give you an idea of the 4 working groups that we have set up and that are now start meeting so online in order to discuss and to share so the knowledge that they have within each one. Basically, why Emilia-Romagna is leading this partnership, because we have created the environment, and we are also very proud to say that thanks to international cooperation and knowledge also acquired through the implementation of EU-funded projects, basically there was a very strong evolution in terms of blue economy, because blue economy in the previous programming period was considered not a priority, while in this new programming period it has become a priority for our administration. And in order to support our regional environment, we have created a kind of roundtable first within our administration, regional government, so to share all the expertise and all the initiatives that different directorates were putting in place. Secondly, we have launched a Blue Strategic Forum at regional level in order to provide an environment where our regional stakeholders can meet and can share technologies, innovative solutions, and can dialogue more and more, exchanging the expertise that everyone has, and of course, last but not least, to activate synergies among them. And then we have undersigned so the Mission Ocean and Waters Charter. We have also tried to make a kind of new financial instruments connecting basically the Blue Sustainable Economy Partnership within Horizon Europe with our regional program ERDF to provide an additional support to research centers and companies that are located in our region. That's to say that if we really want to be impactful in the blue economy, that is really a huge area, we really need to act at different levels. And just in this way, so we can counteract fragmentation and we can be much more effective and impactful in terms of sustainability. And here I am for whatever kind of questions that may arise. Thank you.
Thanks to you, Tiziana. Really, really useful. Just a question for
Yes.
the audience also, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So I understand that this partnership is open for new applications.
It is
to join.
possible. Yes.
Perfect, because this could be a nice opportunity also for the pitchers and maybe someone in the audience from regions and local authorities to perhaps join. And if so, if they were interested in doing it, first, what would be the procedure? And
the
second,
procedure, I would like first to say that there is no financial obligation. The community of practice that have been launched in the different thematic area by the S3 colleagues are totally on voluntary basis. Of course, we had to go through an application, but once the partnership have been approved for the members, there is no financial obligation. Indeed, one of the objective that we perceive also through our partners is also to find find interesting EU opportunities in order to apply for new projects according to the topics that we have identified as strategic. Secondly, there is no, let's say, complicated and formal procedure to undergo if you want to join. You have just to send an email. I will leave in the chat my email because Emilia-Romagna is the coordinator together with Puglia region that is the co-leader of the partnership. So you have just to send an email that you are interested. We can provide you what will be necessary, because right now, considering that our partnership is really big, because we are 52 members, we have been asked by the community of practice to provide letter of commitment and letter of support. What is the difference? The letter of commitment is for the regional governments that are in charge, regional governments or ministries that are in charge of the smart specialization strategy, where you report the strategic areas that are related to the blue. While the letter of support are for all the other members that can be research centers, universities or companies where they just express the interest to participate. What is reported in these letters is reported, there is a part where the contact person is reported. So basically what we want is just to have a person where to address, so the invitation of the meetings that most of which are organized online in order to save money, and so to exchange our knowledge, our interest, and to try to promote new project application. And that's it. So no financial obligation. Don't worry. So because this is a very important point.
Indeed. Yes, that was super clear. Thanks a lot. I think it's a great opportunity to create, very much in line with our goal to create and to stimulate this innovation ecosystem. So as Blue Mission Med, our team is here to support you in this process if you need help, and connecting you with Tiziana and all the people behind this partnership, which, as said, is very related to what we want to do as well. So
in addition, I'm sorry, I just take 1 minute more with the Blue Mission Med and through FEDRA, because we are also leading a project that has been approved within Interreg Euromed, and the project is called the Blue Ecosystem. We had a meeting last April, and we were launching the idea of setting up a kind of a task force. What is the purpose? The purpose is, again, to support synergies among different financial instruments, different EU programs, in order to share the knowledge coming from different projects or initiatives. And Blue Biomed was invited, and you were among our speakers. Yes. And this was last April in Durrës in Albania.
Yeah, maybe if I can build on that briefly, and thanks Tiziana, very interesting, and not to be discussed now, but just to brainstorm in a way, if we maybe can share the pitching doc for the solution, and you can share amongst your partners. We can also see whether there's any interest, and then we can create this partnership and maybe helping connecting with the funding. So very good connection. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I will write the emails in the chat.
Okay.
Yes, please. Okay, I would like to follow up now with our pitchers, if you're still there. I see Leire is still there. I think Reynald was also here. Well, first of all, what you think about this opportunity? I think it could help you particularly with governance and regulatory issues you may have, and also with connecting you with other types of stakeholders that can be of interest. But to me, the main question to you is, what do you see as barriers to scale up and bring your solution to the next step? And what kind of support, or what is your main need in terms to make this happen? No, so and this also linked to how we can help you as a project. So if you have in mind maybe just one barrier that you think is really difficult to surmount and that you really need support with, what would that be? I leave the floor to you. Maybe Leire, I see you here. So, yeah.
Yes. related to this initiative, which I think it's fantastic, like a really solid one, addressing industry, funding programs, authorities, and research, and so on. I will say that yes, policy lobbying is really important for us in Europe because we have this standard producer responsibility, which has right now it's now in action from the 1st of January. So this could, I think, track these solutions to be implemented, really implemented in the sectors. Because I don't know if you are familiar with this, but this is a new law that will have this, for example, these raw producers have the responsibility of their products at the end of their life, at the end of their use. So they should manage the transport of these gears to facilities, especially for upcycling them and get to a more circular economy. Out of that, also including bio-based materials in these gears. So this could be this policy support between all the producing regions will be like fine for us. The other part is that validation of these ropes in different regions, such as Emilia-Romagna, which is a mussel producer region. And you have some really nice papers of using alternatives to plastics in mussel socks and life cycle analysis out of that. So I think you are so much in the line of substituting these plastics in your mussel productions. So we'll be so happy to collaborate with you in the implementation, validation of these gears in your sector. I think this is or could be one of the first steps for you to implement these solutions once that they are validated in your environmental conditions in your sector. For me, this will be like the first ideas coming to me for collaboration with your region.
Interesting.
This validation and depending on how many emerging farms could collaborate in this validation, we should also take into account that some scaling up should be needed. So perhaps we already did it in BioGears project. We figure out some BioGears we call Blue Labs, which was to identify the value chain of BioGears in each producing region. We have this for Italy. So we should go into deeper detail of which of the actors we already have in this region in terms of from raw producers to end-of-life managers, port logistics, recyclers, and so on. So it will be so interesting to get it on the ground and to figure out a real value chain of these gears for the implementation. Sorry.
Okay, I don't know if Tiziana would like to react to what was said, although I see she might have had to leave now, or no, she's here.
Okay. She's here.
I'm here. So basically, I see that for sure the topic is within our 4 strategic line that we have identified. So consequently, of course, what we can provide is this kind of place where to share this expertise in order to see how it can be, let's say, shared, so within the group, and to favor kind of exchange and to see whether there is, so let's say, interest and financial availability in order to support so the idea or replication of this experience in other contexts. Of course, so what we are trying to do right now is exactly to scout, let's say, so financial opportunities in order to give more consistency to our 4 working groups, because as I said, unfortunately, we do not have financial support, and this is our main topic, let's say, that is missing, or is a gap that would be really necessary to fill in. And of course, this will be a kind of joint initiative within that group, also to find so the right instrument in order to favor this kind of replication, or to provide a kind of let's say market implementation.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's I don't know if Mehmet Bozdogan from the DOCA agency in Turkey also is willing to share, but maybe he's a bit busy as well now. Just flagging that, but because it will be interesting to see other regional perspective. But maybe Lavinia, if you're still there, because now as Faros, you have quite a few years of experience in supporting innovation. But then I don't know if Lavinia is still willing to speak, and it would be nice to see some reflection on how, the challenges in supporting and linking maybe with public funding and public support. But I also see that now we're touching lunchtime, so we're all a bit stretched. But yes, Lavinia, if you can share a few view on your side of, how challenges and tips for solution to really hook up with public grants and support of local institutions, maybe.
Yeah, on our side, I think that these type of opportunities are really crucial for startups, because private funding on the other side is really difficult or time consuming at least, and it's very important, and sometimes it can be a game changer, but at the same time consuming. So not that public funding maybe is that simple access, but for sure it's there are so many opportunities that it's fundamental to at least take acknowledge and have a special eye on all the opportunities that can arise, not only publicly, from a regional level, but also from a national level. In Italy, a lot of regions actually are taking action, particularly on the blue economy. In the Puglia region, the Just Transition Fund is giving so many funds for different opportunities, and we see that the startups are really taking advantage of it, and it can be it can give the ability to give rise to those technologies that require big funds. So a good mixing funding strategy, I think it's the only way for a startup and for also tech projects.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I don't know if maybe Reynald, who is still here, would like to react to anything that's been said so far, or maybe share an additional challenge that you found.
Yes, so about the main barrier of implementation of our innovation, it's for me to found fishermen, stakeholders, and mainly to have a good monitoring on site on real condition to have the good monitoring of at this moment the fisheries is high and after low. There is some degradation of the mesh net. It's because it's a UV degradation or saltwater degradation or some kind of microorganism degradation, and we need to understand more what is the main factor of the degradation of our material in sea to improve the formulation. It is a main barrier. And
okay. Yeah, it's good that you mentioned this, in fact, because monitoring is actually the topic of our next and last webinar series. Next week, we will be discussing precisely about technologies that are being developed to monitor the water quality in rivers and also marine environment, also drone technologies to monitor waste floating or inland even. So yeah, the different types of solutions to address this problem of monitoring will be the main focus of our next webinar. So you're more than welcome to join the discussion there as well in case it's useful for you, and we stay in touch, of course, after this. So unless anyone has any remark to share, I think we could close now. As Matteo said, we're approaching lunchtime, so let's maybe close now. If we can go back to our presentation, I just wanted to share some information on the next steps from our side as closing remarks. Yeah, if we can go to the next slide, please. Yes, and please click ahead. Exactly. Okay. So, well, as we explained a little bit at the beginning, this series of webinars is part of a larger process that we have called support program within our project. We have lined up two main phases in this program, starting with an assessment phase and then following up with what we've called a pathway of support. So as part of this assessment, we did, as many of you already know because you applied to it, we launched a call for expressions of interest to receive support from the Blue Mission Med project. We received over 100 applications, so we did a bit of a screening and categorization of the different calls received. So yeah, these webinars are actually in the middle, are the nexus between the assessment and the pathway of support, because on the one hand, we have already done a bit of screening and categorization of your solutions, which are the result of these thematic webinars. But then we also want to use this opportunity, also building on the feedback received by the pitchers and the discussion we just had, to further identify which is the most suitable pathway of support for you, depending on your different levels of technology readiness or different needs. No, so for higher TRL levels, we have lined up a series of activities related to improving your pitching skills. For instance, we will provide you with a series of master classes and more individualized support to reach out to investors and possible intermediary organizations who can help you with more financial access to market needs, for those of you who already have a commercially viable product. But then, of course, we also want to help those solutions who are perhaps at a more experimental or early stage phase. So in those cases, we will prioritize matchmaking with potential partners who can help them access different types of funds as well, public funds, for instance, but not only, also perhaps accessing research infrastructures, etc., and develop these sort of partnerships at a less marketable level in a way. Then it may also be that we provide support to those who are seeking for solutions to be implemented in their region, in their country, even companies who are seeking to deploy more sustainable solutions, which is the case of, well, the regions and local authorities that we have here, but also ports who have joined and who are looking really to see what's out there, what kind of innovations are available to them to meet their sustainability goals. So in case this solution already exists and has been mapped by our project, the idea is that we engage those people into the matchmaking process, which is also what we're kind of doing already today at this pilot exercise. And then in case the solution for them does not exist, the idea is that we create a series of hackathons whereby we will, well, depending on the topics that are the main need of these stakeholders, we will create project idea labs, etc. And then again, foster this access to funding for these new projects. So this is a little bit our idea, our flow. So if we go to the next slide, please. Just to remind everybody that we have our last webinar on May 28th. So that's next week from 11 to 2. It will be focusing, as I just mentioned, on monitoring, detecting, and collecting pollution. The dynamics will be very similar as that of today. And then if we go to the very last slide, I believe. Yes, just for everybody to save the date in their calendars, November 6 in Rimini, Italy, as part of Ecomondo Fair, we will be having our final event of Blue Mission Met. It will be about boosting technology, business models, and societal engagement for the mission to restore ocean and waters. We will try to do a bit of a pitching exercise, but this time with real, well, in fact, stakeholders from different types of fields. No, not only as we have here, local, regional, national authorities, but also investors who can help these solutions scale up. So this is a little bit the idea. I think we can close here unless you have any other remarks. Thank you so much all, and congratulations to the pitchers. But I think we wanted to take a family photo before we close, right? So I would ask those who are still there if you can turn on your cameras and we can do a screenshot for our records. And then of course we will share the recording of this session. Okay, thank you very much. Colleagues are taking the screenshot, I believe, right? Yep, okay. Let me know when it's done and then we can close. Thank you.
Ready.
Okay.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
and
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So much.
Bye,
Thanks a
everyone.
lot.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.